Hey guys, welcome back to Grim Productions, and today the Spirit Halloween flagship store is opening. Now, as of the time of recording this video, it is not open yet. It's going to open about 2 hours from now, but the trailer has just been revealed, and since I'm not going to flagship, I decided to make a video on the actual trailer instead, which I think, will do just fine. Anyways, so in today's video, I'm going to actually be going through my thoughts on the trailer and what I think the movie is actually going to be like. And I am going to be like brutally honest with this video and the trailer. Whenever it comes to movies, I do like to be honest with my opinions and thoughts, and I'm going to be very, very honest here. But I will give it some slack since Spirit Halloween is not known for like movies and stuff like that. So I will be giving them a little bit of slack. But yeah, I am going to be pretty honest. So if I say an opinion that you guys don't like, please don't hate on me. This is just my personal opinion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Side note, actually, before we do get started, these photos came from Haunt World. He actually has like a full video of the actual trailer itself. So go watch his video first if you want to see the trailer, and then come back here and if you want to hear my thoughts and my opinions on it. So now we can actually get started with the trailer. So I'm going to start off with the pros of what I think about the trailer. So some of the pros actually might not be what you expect, and it's not what I expected either. I think that the cinematography in this movie is actually really, really good. From the like inside of the store and the lighting and just like the way like the camera angles are like showing you like the store at night, it is really, really cool, and it just looks really amazing. And I can't wait to like see that like on like a big screen, like on like a TV, because I feel like just like the colorings of like the store and like the way like they're showing the animatronics in there, it really could like give you like a very eerie vibe and just a really creepy feeling. And I think that is all just amazing. I really did not expect a movie like this to have a good like cinematography in it, but it surprisingly does. And for a horror movie, that's actually like a pretty good thing, because a lot of horror movies kind of sometimes have trouble with that, and I feel like this movie definitely doesn't. Like I said, like the lighting in this movie is just really, really cool. It kind of does, I guess, follow how an actual Spirit Halloween store is, with the lighting being usually pretty good in themes. So yeah, that is a definite pro. Another pro I do want to add on to it is the actual plot of the film. Now, from what I've gathered from the trailer, there's actually two plots of the film. There is a, like an A plot and a B plot, just, like how most movies are. There's usually more than one plot in the film. And I'm actually going to be talking about the B plot here. I think the B plot of this movie is actually going to be really, really cool. So the B plot of this movie, I'm assuming, is that the mom of the kids is out trying to find this witch that cursed the Christopher Lloyd character. And she's just going to be trying to track her down and, like, I guess, figure out, the mystery on her own. And I feel like this entire thing is going to be a really, really, really good story, and it's going to be very interesting to follow. I'm very excited for this whole arc of the, I guess, like, adult actors and their story in the film. So I'm very excited for this, because I think it is going to be actually like a really cool thing, even though it doesn't have much to do with like Spirit Halloween like in general as a store. I think just like as far as like a story goes, with like the mom trying to save her kids but like trying to find the answers, would be a really, really cool story. So that is definitely like a pro that I've gathered from the trailer. Another pro that I do want to mention is that I do think that some of the effects are actually like pretty good, while a lot of them aren't. Some of them I think are actually really cool. The buzzsaw costume, which a photo will appear here in just a little bit, I think it looks amazing. It looks just like the animatronic, but like it's not the animatronic, it's someone in a costume, which is really, really, really cool. And on the other hand, though, like Nightcrawler, like his costume doesn't look the best in my opinion, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. So yeah, overall though, I do think that those are the pros that I've so far gathered. I can't really say like my official thoughts on the film yet, of course, since I haven't seen the film, and we won't see the film for another like 2 months from now. So like I said, I can't really see or say much about it, but this is just what I've gathered from the trailer. Now onto the more like negative side of it, and there's a bit more negatives sides that I have of this trailer than positives. So please don't like hate on me on the comments for this. Just like I said, this is just my personal opinion. But basically, the negatives I have for it, and we'll start off with this, is the generic, stereotypical, like, kid horror movie characters. And this is my biggest pet peeve, one of my biggest pet peeves. I have two. This is, like, probably my number one, though. It is the stereotypical, like, characters that every single kid horror movie has nowadays, where you always have the, like, scared character who's, like, scared of everything. Then you have the brave character, aka, like, the main character, basically. Then you have the like kind of like cringy but like comic relief character, and then you have like the older sister that's like always like annoyed by her brothers and it's like trying to like get them in trouble but then ends up being a part of the story. It's the exact same like character stuff for like every single movie, and it's just getting like really old and annoying and just kind of boring in general. Like I don't care for much of these characters, if I'm being honest. Like the acting from what I've seen so far, it's fine, you know, the acting, it's not the worst. So I'm not like dissing the actors in any way right here. It's solely just from like the writing, in my opinion, is definitely like not the best from what I've seen in the trailers. The little kid, I'm not sure what the names of the characters are, but the little kid actor, the youngest one who like screams whenever he sees the skull, his lines do kind of, in my opinion, seem to be like a little cringy, although I think he might be kind of funny. Some of his lines do seem to be a little cringy though, but again, that's not dissing the actor in any way. And I get this is supposed to be like a kid family movie, which is another topic that I want to bring onto it, is the animatronics that they chose for this film. In the film, they're trying to make it seem like everyone, I guess, is kind of like scared of these animatronics, but the animatronics that they chose aren't necessarily like the scariest things. Like if a kid were to walk into like an actual Spirit Halloween store and see like a Buzzsaw or a Nightcrawler or Mr. Dark, they probably would laugh instead of scream, versus something else, maybe like Henry Hustle or something, who I think a kid might like flinch at or get like scared of. Or just any other animatronic that's like generally creepy. I think they should have definitely chosen a different prop choice. Now I do get that these are like the most popular modern props, like Nightcrawler, Mr. Dark, etc., Crouchy, but I don't know, I feel like they could be hiding like a lot from us, which I think that they definitely are, but I really kind of wish that they would have chosen a lot more different animatronics that were, you know, kind of old, also more for like the classic fans. But having modern animatronics is also good for promoting them, I guess, in like the store, because a lot of people will remember these from like past years. So watching the movie, it'll be relatable, you know, and that's kind of like what they want. It's like a relatable experience while watching the movie. So seeing these animatronics in the movie will, you know, bring back a lot of memories and, you know, probably promote them, like I mentioned. But that's besides the point. I was trying to get on. Like I kind of just started rambling there about the animatronic choices. The animatronic choices are fine. I get what they were doing with it though. I'm not too mad about it. I do think there's going to be more in the movie that we don't know about yet, so they're definitely trying to hide more of the characters from us, which I do like. But one of my biggest pet peeves, with the animatronic characters is this like teddy bear looking thing. Why is there a teddy bear, a giant stuffed teddy bear, inside of the Spirit Halloween movie? That's like the worst idea I think I've ever heard of. I mean, I know there's like teddy bear props, but this is not a single one of those teddy bear props. Like this teddy bear is like your generic like Target store like teddy bear that you would just get for like a 3-year-old or something. Like it has like red eyes and that's it. So I don't know what they were thinking whenever they added a giant teddy bear in there and not another Spirit Halloween animatronic. That's a complete waste of space, I think, and it's just, I don't know. It was a really stupid idea in my opinion. And like I said, I'm going to be brutally honest about this. I think that's probably like the worst idea they've done in this movie. But of course, I don't think it's going to bring down the movie for me. Like, I don't think it's going to change the movie for me. The only way it'll change it for me is if they use this character like a lot, which they might. So we'll just have to see though. From what I've seen from the trailer was a little hard to see, so I couldn't see like everything in it, but I think I saw enough for sure. So on to the next pet peeve, which is the main plot or the story, which is the kids getting trapped inside of the Spirit Halloween store at night. Now, this story, it's your kind of like, I feel like generic kid horror story nowadays. It's, you know, very reminiscent of like the Five Nights at Freddy's series of like getting stuck overnight with a bunch of animatronic creatures. You know, very popular nowadays with kids, and this is definitely what that movie is targeted towards, is kids, which, you know, I'm perfectly fine with, because, you know, kids is a big target of the Spirit Halloween company, so you don't want to like traumatize them for sure. But I feel like they should have gone with a different story. And here's my idea of what they should have done. And this is a way that they can keep on doing this and make more money off of it. So I'm assuming most of y'all know that the back of a Spirit Halloween animatronic box contains like an origin story of the character. That's, I feel like, what they should have done with the movie. They should have taken like a character or like a theme that they've had in the past and made like an origin off of the theme or the character. I feel like that would have been so cool, going into the world of the Spirit Halloween characters, like experiencing what the world is of the Spirit Halloween characters instead of being in like reality, you know, with like the store. I feel like it just would have been a lot more interesting, more scarier. It probably wouldn't have been near as kid friendly because a lot of these stories that they put on the back of the boxes are actually pretty dark for a lot of the things. But I feel like it would have just been like a lot of fan service, especially since a lot of people like the animatronic characters that are like original. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what they should have done. And if they were to do one like a theme origin story or something, like a theme based on like the Acres Farm, or like a theme on like the Clown Train, or like the factory, or etc., then they would have multiple chances to make more movies about this because there's so many themes. And I feel like with this style plot they have of like the staying overnight thing, it's really like a one and done kind of thing before it gets like really old and boring kind of thing. And it's already kind of is boring in a way, like the story, because we've already seen it so many times, I feel like. And I don't know, like I get it's their first time trying to do a movie, so I feel like if they ever do any kind of like short film or movie ever again, it should definitely be based on like the themes or like the animatronic characters, kind of like what they did with the theme this year, except hopefully with like better writing, I'm assuming. And like instead of focusing it on like human characters, I would like to see it focused on like the actual animatronic characters themselves. Like I don't know, like have a movie about like the Henry Hustle like family or something. That would be weird but kind of cool, I guess. There's just a lot of mystery built up behind these characters, and we don't see enough of them really, like as far as what their story arc is. And I would just really like to see that, and I know a lot of people would too. But I guess for their first time making a film, this is actually pretty good. For the effects, okay, so now this is my other negative pet peeve, and it is the effects. I get that this movie is a low budget movie, okay? It's a Spirit Halloween, it's Spirit Halloween. It's not like Disney with like the biggest budget to make any kind of film they want. They don't have the biggest budget here, and I respect what they did with it. They have their own set, which is a Spirit Halloween store, which I think was a smart decision. It makes it more relatable, and they can't exactly. I feel like they can't exactly make a like movie set kind of feel like a Spirit Halloween store. I feel like it just wouldn't work the same way. So I'm glad that they actually used a actual store, because I think that's pretty cool. And I don't know. I get like they have a low budget, like I said, and I feel like the costumes actually do look pretty good. The effects so far from what we've seen in the trailer, even though it was pretty hard to see them, the effects don't look the worst for sure. My main pet peeve with like the effects, at least, is the Nightcrawler costume, because like I really don't like how that looks at all. I get like they just had someone wear a costume of him, and I think the costume looks good. But whenever you look at the animatronic and like 3 seconds later you see the person in the costume, you can definitely tell a difference, because Nightcrawler is this skeletal, bony creature. And in the costume, like with the costume, you can definitely easily tell that it's a human in there. And also, it just looks like very like unproportioned, I guess, because Nightcrawler like on its own looks very like unproportional. Like the head is huge, like the body is like super skinny and slim. But with the costume, it's kind of like the opposite, in my opinion. Like just like it looks very strange to see the animatronic in like the costume, and I just don't think overall it looks like that good. I hope they use the animatronic more than they do the costume, though. We'll see though. But the Buzzsaw one looks pretty cool. Mr. Dark, they're gonna use him a lot. We haven't seen his costume yet, I don't think, but overall, it does look pretty cool. So my final thoughts on like the trailer, at least. Now, usually like the first trailer for some movies aren't like the best, so we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, the trailer, I don't know. I'm kind of left with mixed feelings about it. It leaves me excited to see what the movie's gonna have in store, but at the same time, it leaves me kind of disappointed, because I was hoping for a little bit more like uniqueness to it. And I get that they're still trying to hide some things from the actual film itself, just to keep us like waiting with like suspense. But I feel like they just took the wrong direction with the plot of the film, and I kind of thought this from the beginning too. And I think it'll be a lot better than what I'm saying it would be right now. I have a feeling this movie's gonna have a lot of fan service in it, which is good, of course, for the fans. So I don't know. I'm very excited though. Please, guys, tell me in the comments down below if you're excited or not for the film. Tell me your thoughts like on the trailer, if you think it was good or not. I'm gonna personally say I'm still mixed. I need to see more of it, and I need to see definitely like a clearer version of the trailer before I kind of have like my final thoughts. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.